January 1st, 2024. Putin says he wants peace in Ukraine, but on Russia's own terms. Biden spent 37% of 2023 enjoying a getaway spot. More in 1 year than past 3 presidents over 4 or 8. East Palestine? Maui? Joe don't care. Israel starts moving thousands of troops out of the Gaza Strip. Trump's endorsement is miraculously more powerful than ever. Desperate hunt for Japan quake victims buried alive in rubble as terrifying videos show people running for cover during 7.6 magnitude tremor that destroyed buildings and triggers tsunami. New Year fear. Rise of the MAGA Senate. Portland poop crisis triggers bacteria outbreak normally found in Third World. Scores of farm workers are dying in the heat. Bill exposed. Bill Clinton to be unmasked as Doe 36, ID'd more than 50 times in Epstein doc dump. Ryan Seacrest asked Biden his favorite memories of 2023 and, well, try to understand his answer. Take a look at these astonishing new images of Jupiter's volcanic moon Io. Zelensky's former top advisor now wants Kyiv to join up with Russia against the West. What exactly is going on? The ending of Cowboys-Lions game sparks outrage and accusations that refs fixed the game. A fraying coalition. Black, Hispanic, and young voters abandon Biden. 2023 will be remembered as the year climate change arrived. January 2nd, 2024. Planes catch fire after a collision at Japan's Haneda Airport, killing 5. Hundreds evacuated safely. Copyright law is AI's 2024 battlefield. Democrats gone racist. New Jersey mayor says we turned away migrant bus because it's a major security risk. Holiday swatting incidents target and disrupt members of Congress. Deadly Rochester crash is being investigated as domestic terrorism. Trump goes to war with Nikki Haley. Record crowd. Biden admin caught and released enough illegal immigrants at the border to fill more than 17 Yankee stadiums. Significant problem. CIA veteran sounds alarm about agency interfering in 2024 election. Tale of 2 New Year's Eves. Green Day bashes Trump. Meanwhile, Trump celebrates at Mar-a-Lago with Vanilla Ice and Ninja Turtles. What judges owe America in the era of Donald Trump? Immediately after Steamboat Willie became public domain, a bunch of radicalized Mickey memes started circulating. Here are the best. 2023 wrap-up. For times Joe Biden abandoned Americans in times of need. Ian Ziering thankful to be completely unscathed after attack by bikers on New Year's Eve. South Korea opposition chief stabbed in neck, recovering after surgery. 2024 is going to be even more crazy, says Elon Musk. 200-plus veterans and service members pledged to hold DoD brass accountable for vax mandate. 3 years after January 6th attack, GOP loyalty to Trump and rioters climbs, poll finds. January 3rd, 2024. More than 70 killed in terrorist attacks near Iranian Guards Commander Soleimani's tomb during ceremony. Green Day releases edgy new album titled Get the Vaccine, Climate Change is real, and Trump is bad. Jack Smith keeps telegraphing some very serious Trump crimes. Grizzly bearish. Oil giants' massive impairment could be the latest sign of trouble for California's economy, experts say. Expendable. Years after we had everything hot mic scandal, media can't run from Clinton's Epstein ties. 56 criminals wanted by Interpol arrested in major operation. Epstein bombshell. Forget the client list, the FBI is hiding thousands of videotapes used to blackmail Epstein's twisted clients. Snow drought grips California and western United States, despite recent storms. Joe Biden returns from vacation with one of the gnarliest sunburns I've ever seen. The Biden campaign is running like the fate of democracy depends on it. Architect of Russia sanctions facing fresh corruption charges. China gives first official look at Fujian Carrier's advanced catapult system. What happens where free speech is protected? Rumored Trump VP pick lashes out at idea of Nikki Haley taking spot on ticket. January 4, 2024. Iran blames Israel and U.S. for bomb attack on crowd commemorating slain IRGC chief. Biden and Trump both make the January 6th riot a political rallying cry. A real Achilles heel. Medical devices could be hacked next, officials fear. Who is named in the Epstein files, and what do the documents say? Key questions as bombshell 1,000-page dossier names 170 A-list stars, politicians, and leading figures. How the Supreme Court made Sonia Sotomayor millions. China and U.S. hold rival drills in disputed South China Sea. Why are so many Californians dying? Americans are stockpiling abortion pills. Just in case. Donald Trump responds to being named in Jeffrey Epstein list. Epstein dropped number 1. Victims name Bill Clinton, Prince Andrew, and others. States Trump never visited the infamous island. The Trump campaign embraces January 6th rioters with money and pardon promises. A top OHSU doc resigns after internal investigation finds he secretly photographed women students. French retail giant drops PepsiCo. China aims to bring mega computing network online by next year in data power push. Wait, did Claudine Gay plagiarize her resignation letter? Clinton and Trump named in Jeffrey Epstein court documents, no wrongdoing alleged. Google is killing cookies. Advertisers still aren't ready. Another COVID wave hits US as JN.1 becomes dominant variant. January 5, 2024. Biden to mark January 6th anniversary by calling Trump a threat to democracy and freedom. Iran's Raisi promises retaliation at funeral for victims of twin bombings. New Star Wars film to feature female Jedi who turns to the dark side at the same time every month. Island of Misadventure. Second tranche of Jeffrey Epstein documents released. Comedy of errors. Democrat mayor accused of blatant corruption and wild stunts likened to TV show Parks and Recreation. North Korea fires artillery shells near South Korean islands. Reuben's Bakery survived pandemic and riot only to be ransacked during a street takeover. First school shooting of 2024 leaves 1 dead and 5 injured. Why Trump can't use the idiot defense other January 6th defendants often do. Flight pain. Top model who jumped to her death from her Wall Street apartment building had flown on Epstein's jet as a teen. Iowa school shooting suspect identified himself as trans non-binary on social media. Stefanik and others withdraw endorsement of House GOP recruit after he criticizes Trump. Oscar Pistorius on parole after serving half his sentence for killing Reva Steenkamp. Musk warns against invading Russia. Taiwan reports 17 balloons approaching from mainland China as election nears. Trump SCOTUS request opened Pandora's box that could have stayed shut. Who's afraid of calling Donald Trump an insurrectionist? Loyalists behind January 6th also leading Biden impeachment, says Watchdog. Given the details, the media is certainly going to bury the Iowa school shooting. Trump's dictator talk raises fears. Here are 5 guardrails in democracy. Cheap and they don't snitch. Drones are the new drug mules. Economy added 216,000 jobs in December, capping off a year of solid gains. January 6, 2024. Jeffrey Epstein court documents. 4 new batches of filings released. House Speaker Mike Johnson invites Biden to deliver the State of the Union address on March 7th. Mavericks owner Mark Cuban makes good on DEI promise by signing power forward Peter Dinklage. Alaska Air grounds Boeing 737 MAX 9 fleet after Madeira blowout. Famous preacher denies he attended sex parties with Diddy. Never saw a badge. Video confrontation between Jack Smith's FBI agents and ex-Trump aide. Heart damage. COVID jabs cause Takotsubo cardiomyopathy, research shows. Drones from company that strongly opposes military use marketed with bombs attached. Maxwell denies Prince Andrew's claims she introduced him to Epstein. The strongest words in Joe Biden's January 6th speech were Donald Trump's. Clashing over January 6th, Trump and Biden show reality is at stake in 2024. Joe Biden's best ever speech attacking Trump sparks celebrations and fury. New Hampshire Democrat votes to ban sex change surgeries on minors and shames colleagues for supporting the irreversible surgeries. The new Jeffrey Epstein files have set off a fresh round of conspiracy theories. What did Josh Hawley's January 6th fist pump really mean? We asked the photographer who got the shot. Pedo Island. The corrupt system that created Jeffrey Epstein survives his downfall. Can't even buy underwear. Malaysians fume over cheap goods tax and cost burden. Gradual release of January 6th footage has far-right raging at Speaker Johnson. Lots of people will vote this year. That doesn't mean democracy will survive. It's not even a week into 2024 and there's a school shooting conspiracy. Wanted. College presidents. Mission impossible. Ray Epps, face of January 6th conspiracies, to be sentenced. January 7th, 2024. Special counsel probe uncovers new details about Trump's inaction on January 6th. Israeli airstrike kills at least 2 more journalists in the Gaza Strip. Scandalous Chris Christie mentioned over 50 times in unsealed Sizzler documents. Trump says civil war could have been negotiated. QAnon shaman demands FBI return horns he wore during riot. U.S. scientists held secret talks with COVID Batwoman amid drive to make coronavirus more deadly just before pandemic. Biden says Trump echoing the same exact language used in Nazi Germany. How the Golden Globes became too big to fail. Trump just promised an authoritarian task force to impose Christian ideology. Lloyd Austin leaving Biden in dark over hospitalization raises questions. The Lloyd Austin fallout is growing. Someone's head has to roll. Spirit Aero made blowout part, but Boeing has key role. Chinese missiles filled with water instead of fuel. Chinese scientists say they can use foreign military radar to track ships. Why fears over a triple-demic are surging. Was your family sick and miserable this holiday season? You weren't alone. Sitting U.S. Senator misquotes Benjamin Franklin to fit narrative about January 6th. Biden and Trump's split over January 6th is as divisive as it is for voters. Elon Musk has used illegal drugs, worrying leaders at Tesla and SpaceX. Desperate Biden runs on division and hate. January 8, 2024. Over 40 states under blizzard, wind, snow, or flood alerts as storms cross country. Israeli airstrike kills senior Hezbollah commander in southern Lebanon, official says. Farmers revolt. Tractors and truckers bring Germany to standstill over government's globalist agenda. A week before Iowa, Trump sucks oxygen from rivals. First U.S. lunar lander in 5 decades blasts off on private mission. Pathetic. MSNBC host mocked for crying over January 6th. Alaska Airlines flight. Cockpit audio is lost, and a mysterious warning light is investigated. Why the Supreme Court's Trump ballot decision is doomed from the start. Conservatives blast Mike Johnson's total failure in spending deal. Lloyd Austin was hospitalized after a secret surgery he didn't tell anyone about, leaving us without a defense secretary for a week. FBI arrests 3 people linked to January 6th on 3rd anniversary. Russia and Iran ditch SWIFT. The Golden Globes somehow got worse, if that's even possible. We've been thinking about America's trust collapse all wrong. The Lloyd Austin ICU hospitalization cover-up is shocking and scandalous. Yes, everyone is sick right now. So what can you do about it? Buying home and auto insurance is becoming impossible. Kamala Harris is hitting the campaign trail. Is there anyone else who can help her out? January 9, 2024. Crown Prince meets U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken in Alula. Trump co-defendant alleges Fani Willis in corrupt relationship. Shock claim. Boyfriend improperly appointed to case. DA profiting significantly from prosecution. Slip of the pen. Almost a quarter of all jobs added in 2023 didn't actually exist. Inside synagogue secret tunnel built by young Jewish men, what leads to women's cleansing bath. Rabbi condemns extremist students. Ex-Google CEO Eric Schmidt is working on a secret military drone project. Huge explosion rocks Fort Worth, Texas hotel. 10 injured, potential casualties. Chaos on the borders, but immigration is driving California's population and labor force growth. Bro and behold. Epstein's brother lists the evidence he claims feds are covering up about pedophile's death. Appeals court to hear arguments on Trump's claim of immunity. Joe Biden is producing more oil than Donald Trump did. Whoopi Goldberg says people are losing faith in America, and that's very bad because then people will vote for Trump, who is planning on putting people in camps. A moon landing attempt by a U.S. company appears doomed after a critical fuel leak. Gabriel Attal becomes France's youngest prime minister as Macron seeks reset. U.S. lawmaker to launch impeachment case against Pentagon chief. Trump takes sledgehammer to rule of law today in historic case. Emissions from Israel's war in Gaza have immense effect on climate catastrophe. Are $18 Big Macs the price of falling inequality? China becomes world's #1 auto exporter, with help from Russia. Biden administration in hot seat for sending Congress incomplete records for censorship investigation. January 10, 2024. Al-Aqsa flood. Initiated by 70 elite fighters, crafted by 5 Hamas leaders. Tuberville says same Lloyd Austin who went AWOL lectured me about hurting military readiness. No respect for Biden. He should have been fired. Judge signals Trump is doomed in new E. Jean Carroll trial. Totally compromised. Trump blasts Fulton County prosecutor Fani Willis after romantic partner allegations. Hezbollah's precision precedent. Sniping at Israeli homes using anti-tank missiles. Aaron Rodgers responds to Jimmy Kimmel feud. Drops massive red pills to ESPN audience. Last year was the hottest one in recorded history. Strange bedfellows. Ex-girlfriend of disgraced New Jersey politician took part in orgies with Epstein and sex slave. Tornadoes, blizzards, and floods. Severe storms hit vast sections of U.S. SEC account compromised. Agency responsible for protecting against market manipulation send unauthorized tweet that manipulated the market. Melania Trump announces her mother Amelia Naves has passed away. Gunman in Ecuador stormed TV studio in wave of violence. U.S. government debt biggest threat to global economy, says Russian NGO. GOP senators slap down Trump on January 6 hostages. Those behind the efforts to disqualify Trump have something in common. Obama sees incalculable damage if Trump wins, closest confidants say. Eric Adams promotes vegan diet overtaking prescribed diabetes meds in new Netflix doc. Violent political threats surge as 2024 begins, haunting American democracy. January 11, 2024. Israel faces Gaza genocide charges at World Court. Consumer prices rose more than expected in December, new inflation data shows. Jews realize they've dug too far when they pop out of the ground next to a Mountie drinking maple syrup on a moose in front of a Tim Hortons. Eric Adams says NYC hemorrhaging working class people. We're worried about losing tax base. Race for second. Haley and DeSantis bickered for 2 hours, and everybody seemed to hate it. Michael Strahan's daughter Isabella, 20, reveals she's been diagnosed with brain cancer after suffering excruciating headaches at USC. Doctors found tumor larger than a golf ball. Exit stage left. Comer says GOP lawmaker must have spooked Hunter Biden in surprise hearing appearance. Judge Engoron bars Trump from giving closing argument in rigged New York civil trial. John Hopkins' chief diversity officer just released this list of people who have privilege whether they want those privileges or not. Bill Belichick to leave New England Patriots after 24 seasons, sources say. Chris Christie drops out of presidential race. Subway sponsoring war, says Ukraine. Li Chang to be most senior Chinese official to visit Davos in 6 years. Watch Canadian police arrest reporter for asking Deputy PM a question. January 12, 2024. US and UK launch large-scale retaliatory strikes on Iran-backed Houthi militants. Tectonic shift in power. How MAGA pastors boost Trump's campaign. World Health Organization picks radical trans activist to set global child-rearing rules. Less than half of panel has medical background. TikTok famous they/them professor wants puberty blockers to be default option. Quick buck. Biden admin pours nearly $700,000 into program to prevent transgender boys from getting pregnant. The ultra-rich now own a record share of stocks, with the wealthiest 10% of Americans, like Nancy Pelosi, holding 93% of U.S. stock market wealth. Pro-communist. House strikes down Biden EV charger rule protecting Chinese companies, 2 in GOP defect. At International Court of Justice, Israel presents robust defense despite half-wit politicians. Clown world. Canadian police warn posting videos of package thieves could violate their privacy. Trump ends his fraud trial by lashing out at the judge, again. President of Canadian Pride organization charged with sex crimes against children. Donald Trump's 50-year mission to discredit the justice system. Zelensky plays pensioners will die card in bid to unlock U.S. aid. Elon Musk is realizing he should have bought TikTok. China military lab AI connects to commercial ChatGPT-like systems for first time. January 6th is exactly what the 14th Amendment was talking about. Democrats reject Johnson's border demands as part of Ukraine aid package. Rand Paul's 2024 announcement is a brutal thread about Nikki Haley. Citigroup to cut 20,000 jobs. Biden again thumbs nose at Supreme Court decision and will cancel more student loans. January 13, 2024. U.S. military strikes another Houthi-controlled site after warning ships to avoid parts of Red Sea. Texas military sees park on border. Eject USBP agents. Abbott versus Biden escalates. How NFL fans facing freezing temperatures this weekend can stay safe. Woman will suffer diarrhea forever after Ozempic caused horror bowel injury, and weight loss drug made another vomit until her teeth fell out, claim dozens of lawsuits saying maker failed to warn of its dangers. From darling to devil. Biden's Democrat challenger blasts party, says spiking primaries as dangerous as the insurrection. American journalist who exposed Biden crime family and Volodymyr Zelensky killed in Ukrainian custody. The staggering carbon footprint of Israel's war in Gaza. And a setback for Beijing, Taiwan elects Lai Ching-te as president. Iran issues Houthi warning to United States. Justified targets. Archaeologists have uncovered a massive lost ancient city in the Amazon rainforest. Dan Levy on turning down role of Ken in Barbie. That was a bad day. Real wages grew in only 3 G20 countries, says UN. Guess who may soon join Kevin McCarthy selling rags on the side of the highway? Democrats willing to help GOP Speaker save job. For a price. Inside the crisis at TMU's law school. It started with a letter of support for Palestinians. Now students and staff feel betrayed and donors are pulling out. Shark Tank host decimates New York's case against Donald Trump. Ron DeSantis' big bet on Iowa risks not paying off. Civil War talk in presidential contest reveals fresh divisions on race. January 14, 2024. Gaza. 100 days of bloodshed unfold in a sea of tragedy. Denmark's Queen Margrethe signs her historic abdication. Her son Frederick X becomes king. Humanity finally invents time travel, but everyone just keeps going back to 2001 to watch Fellowship of the Ring in theaters. Don sets record. Final Iowa caucus poll shows Trump with largest lead in Des Moines Register final survey history. Right-wing power brokers plan for Trump's second term. Amazon, Google, and Duolingo cut hundreds of jobs. Here are the 2024 tech layoffs. Iowa second-place scramble. Poll says Haley surges past DeSantis. Petition introduced to remove Biden from Illinois ballot using 14th Amendment. California bill paves way for psychedelic therapy after failure to legalize magic mushrooms. An eerie new ad compares Trump to God, and it only gets weirder from there. Fears grow that Trump will use the military in dictatorial ways if he returns to the White House. Break it down. Pro-Palestinian protesters chant F Joe Biden and nearly rip down fence outside White House as staff evacuated from area. Pixar is planning on major layoffs this year. Up to 20% of employees could be dismissed. Forensic experts say aliens found in Peru are dolls made of bones. Egypt's Suez Canal revenues plunge. A sad circus. Iowa caucuses arrive with little doubt over likely Republican victor. Taylor Swift glued to Travis Kelce after Chiefs victory. Lovebirds leave stadium hand in hand. Secret documents reveal Biden's border crisis was an intentional policy. The economy is improving under Biden. Many voters don't give him credit. January 15, 2024. Philippines plans military upgrades to disputed South China Sea outposts. White House says it's the right time for Israel to scale back Gaza war as fighting hits 100 days. New film adaptation of 1984 to feature Big Brother as the good guy. How Trump is turning the Iowa suburbs into MAGA country. West Side Story star Ariana DeBose is left fuming as she's lumped into joke about actors who think they are singers at Critics' Choice Awards, before star admits she was not amused. Trump closing arguments. Punish my enemies. UN wants $4.2 billion for Ukraine aid in 2024. Majority of Americans think COVID vaccines linked to unexplained deaths. To prevent climate chaos, we may have to forsake economic growth. What Jonathan Majors got wrong about Coretta Scott King's legacy. Human strikes are another nail in Joe Biden's coffin for Muslim voters. Pete Buttigieg's Department of Transportation bans funny electronic highway signs. 2 dead, 4 injured in shooting inside suspected illegal speakeasy. U.S. Air Force Officer Madison Marsh crowned as 2024 Miss America. The sky is not the limit. Why the world is betting against American democracy. U.S. spent over $1 billion on Russian uranium. In quest for dominance, Republicans break government at all levels. We know who dug those secret Jewish tunnels in NYC. Freedom Caucus slams spending bill designed to avert shutdown. This is what surrender looks like. Navy SEALs lost at sea were searching for Yemen-bound weapons shipment. January 16, 2024. Zelensky again pushes for NATO membership at Davos. 31 minutes. Trump's historic Iowa victory puts America on notice. Trump warns Biden he will take back the U.S. after Iowa avalanche and calls on Republicans to unite behind him as landslide victory cements his place as the GOP White House favorite. Israel bought mass online influence system to counter anti-Semitism and Hamas atrocity denial. Blinken promises Zelensky U.S. will sustain support for Ukraine. Military coup against Trump publicly announced by desperate Democrat leaders. Florida man facing 91 criminal counts wins Iowa caucuses. After placing third, Nikki Haley says Iowa made this Republican primary a two-person race. Extremists stoking rage. The German government seeks to downplay protesting workers' plight. He should have been our president. The fiery scene on a freezing Iowa caucus night. Iowa GOP embraces insurrectionist for president. Iran strikes terrorists' position in Syria and Mossad center in Iraqi Kurdistan. Leaving the real world. How I escaped Andrew Tate's Get Rich Quick cult. January 17, 2024. Ukraine calls on residents to evaluate northern border regions. Trump promises Vivek an administrative position running the White House 7-Eleven. BlackRock chief warns Davos elites. Trump victory poses fundamental challenge to Europe. 4 years late. Department of Justice acknowledges Hunter Biden laptop content is legitimate for first time. The caucus nobody cared about. Viewership falls almost by half since 2020. Crushed by football ratings. Collusion. January 6th committee inserted itself into Fani Willis's Georgia case against Trump. Immigration debate deeply divides California Democrats, poll finds. Kate Middleton in hospital after undergoing abdominal surgery. 3 migrants drowned after Texas attempt to seize control of the border. Deja Trump. As Trump nears GOP nomination, elitist media again treat American voters like they're stupid. It's 2016 all over again. China told women to have babies. Its population shrank again. MSNBC refused to air Trump's victory speech in Iowa because they don't want to be caught knowingly broadcasting untrue things. Trump appears in court for second trial against E. Jean Carroll. Cocaine traces detected on Hunter Biden's gun pouch. Biden needs to govern like he's probably going to lose. More U.S.-China engagement coming this year despite differences, says Antony Blinken. The ruin that a Trump presidency would mean. There could be only one reason why the Chinese messed with the coronavirus again. It starts bombing you in the head. The mystery of the super strong creepy weed. Biden's border policies proving a union headache in California. January 18, 2024. DOJ to release report on police response to Uvalde mass shooting. Surrender. Blinken tells Netanyahu Israel can't defeat Hamas. Biden campaign to unveil effort to push abortion rights ahead of Roe anniversary. Bird's eye view. Feds use J6 to conduct mass surveillance on bank transactions flagged with terms like Trump and MAGA, says Jim Jordan. No alternative. Rubio says not running Trump's speech is what state-run media of authoritarian regimes do. Congress rushes for deals before election year melee. European Commission President claims disinformation the world's gravest threat of 2024. Joe Biden wants you to believe he is opposed to genocide in Gaza. Judge tells Beverly Hills homeowners no housing improvements without more affordable housing. Puerto Rico is harnessing home solar rigs to stabilize its power grid. Why Iran opened fire on a nuclear power. And Pakistan struck back. Transgender neo-Nazi arrested by FBI for threats against Jews, blacks, and transphobic co-workers. How social media algorithms flatten our culture by making decisions for us. Judge threatens to toss Trump out of courtroom and Trump responds, "I would love it." World not producing enough weapons to beat Russia, says Zelensky. The left is pissed at John Fetterman. That doesn't mean he's gone full cinema. Chinese developed nuclear power battery can last 50 years without recharging. Bill Ackman is a brilliant fictional character. Special policies keep U.S. supplying weapons to Israel despite alleged abuses. Kanye West filmed 40-minute apology video. Set to drop ahead of album. John Kerry gets testy with reporter calling him out on his climate change hoax peddling. Republican wants schools to call animal control on furry students. Biden accedes to tougher stance on immigration. January 19, 2024. Netanyahu says he told the U.S. that he opposes a Palestinian state in any post-war scenario. Fani Willis accuses estranged wife of special prosecutor of interfering with Trump election case. WEF gets weird. Davos elites treated to ballet dancers and cellists in the snow to ease their troubled spirits. Trump pushes misinformation suggesting Democrats would infiltrate New Hampshire GOP primary. Ecuador's army storms notorious literal prison and takes back control from inmates. Hundreds of gangbangers are cuffed in their boxers after cartel bosses escape sparked civil war. Shock video. Flames shooting from plane before emergency landing. First Turkish astronaut begins his journey to International Space Station. Washington Post latest outlet telling Americans doing own research is bad. Justice Department finds cascading failures contributed to botched Uvalde police response. U.S. and Mexican officials to resume talks on stemming migrant surge. Biden had a photo op at this cookout restaurant, but people noticed how expensive the menu got since he was last there in 2020. A transforming robot is about to land on the moon, where it will die. NBC under fire for editing out Christian praise by Texans QB C.J. Stroud. Western mercenaries used to fill Kiev's expertise gaps, ex-CIA man tells RT. The trials won't stop Donald Trump from becoming president again. Here's what might. China lab simulates attack on U.S. warships using space weapons and hypersonic missiles. Iran condemns Pakistan's drone attack, calls the move unbalanced and unacceptable. Inflation. Half of recent U.S. inflation due to high corporate profits, report finds. After watching this ceremony, the conspiracy theorists might be right about Davos. Did a group of young black spiritual seekers vanish due to an online cult? Why have our winters gotten so weird? House Democrat kicked out of committee hearing she crashed for sharing communist propaganda. Houthis target U.S.-owned tanker in third attack in as many days. January 20th, 2024. I just don't know where we went wrong. Contemplates Sports Illustrated executive in front of framed covers of obese, trans swimsuit models. It's a great day. National champion Michigan coach Jim Harbaugh delivers speech at March for Life in D.C. Haley ad to target Trump's handling of North Korea and hostage Otto Warmbier. President obvious. Biden admits border isn't secure in nanoseconds after saying he has no clue why Republicans are impeaching Mayorkas. Your child's next playmate could be an AI toy powered by ChatGPT. Comedy of errors. Jill Biden mocked for visit to appropriately named school. Straight out of Veep episode. Confusion as Trump mixes up Nikki Haley with Pelosi. Europe to step up ammunition production amid Ukraine warnings. Alex Soros tells WEF Trump ruined democracy. Would-be lunar lander, the first in 50 years, is intentionally destroyed after fuel leak. Boris Johnson says 4 more years of President Trump is just what world needs. If the Supreme Court says Trump's an insurrectionist, these members of Congress are in trouble. Popular newsletter platform Substack has begun taking down Nazi content after calls for it to limit free speech on its platform. Alec Baldwin indicted again on involuntary manslaughter charges. Populism keeps rattling the globe. Elites have no idea what to do. Big Brother is watching. EU cracks down on cash transactions. China's three-legged race to fend off the 4Ds of an economic apocalypse. Gorsuch gleefully leads right-wing cohort in fulfilling their Federalist Society quest. The unwitting Trump enablers. Far-right figures try to create white nationalist haven in Kentucky. Andrew Cuomo sues Letitia James over sexual harassment investigation documents. Nikki Haley says America was never racist. Her memoir tells a trickier story. The GOP is moderating and coming unhinged. It's been a disastrous, discrediting week for Biden's deep state. January 21, 2024. Behind the curtain. Biden's Middle East moonshot. The pooping, pissing Sasquatch that are disturbing Sundance. Not backing down. U.S. service members injured in missile attack. Nikki Haley questions whether Trump is mentally fit after he repeatedly confuses her with Nancy Pelosi. Crashing Klaus Party. Schwab's Davos elites rocked by Milei and Heritage Chief as globalist gathering gets an earful on freedom. Home state daggers for Haley. Cocktail virus surge raises concerns for mask supply crunch. Hospitals injecting staff with live Ebola vaccine that sheds in Colorado, warns doctor. All rail services to be suspended across entirety of Scotland from 7 p.m. Scared of another Trump presidency? Billionaires suggest you calm down. Who prepares for potential global pandemic 20 times deadlier than COVID? Baltimore coach John Harbaugh opens post-game press conference reading from the Bible and giving glory to God after Ravens' playoff victory. You gotta be tough. White evangelicals remain enthusiastic about Donald Trump. How diversity, equity, and inclusion is wrecking the American dream. Beijing boosts use of Chinese yuan in Africa as nations move away from US dollar. Trump is about to steamroll Nikki Haley. Wizard of Oz mobster admits, "Yep, I stole the ruby red slippers." Newsom criticizes his own party for being too timid to attack Republicans. George Soros's Texas cash infusion shows Democrats are afraid of losing. Loyalty, long lines, and Civil War talk. A raging movement propels Trump. January 22, 2024. U.S. Navy SEALs on Iranian weapons seizure mission declared deceased. Went missing while Austin still in hospital. Texas Hold'em. Biden and Abbott have set the stage for one of the biggest state versus feds immigration fights in more than a decade. Jason Kelce takes center stage with his shirtless and beer-chugging antics after meeting up with Taylor Swift for first time to watch brother Travis help steer Chiefs to victory over the Bills. Dana White shuts down woke reporter. Free speech. People can say whatever they want. Pensions for the deep state. Republicans push benefits for Air America, the CIA's secret Vietnam-era airline. Ron DeSantis quits presidential race and endorses Trump. White House level security at India's Flashpoint Hindu temple. Polls show Trump could be doomed if he's convicted. Will a trial happen in time? Nearly 5,000 Brits froze to death last year due to heating costs, says study. Trump isn't just winning the GOP primary. He's consolidating absolute power. The Party of Malice. Former Pentagon UFO investigator is pissed because Congress believes in conspiracy theories. History repeats. Buffalo Bills lose playoff game in familiar heartbreaking fashion. January 23, 2024. Sisi and Putin witness foundation laying for final reactor of Egypt's Daba nuclear power plant. Trump's surprise fan club. Why many Dems want him to win big in New Hampshire. Haley sweeps all 6 votes in first New Hampshire town. CBO says Biden admin has released 6.2 million illegals into U.S. in 3 years, generally through the use of parole loophole. Trump tries to end the GOP primary before it even starts. Chiefs fan whose 3 friends froze to death in his backyard after January 7th watch party claims he went to bed with his headphones in and had no idea they were out there until cops showed up 2 days later. Puzzled families demand answers. WEF members claim coffee bad for environment. Republicans claim to love both mothers and children. Their policies prove they love neither. School removes mirrors from bathrooms because kids kept cutting class to create TikTok videos. Israel offers 2-month ceasefire in exchange for the release of all hostages. A 12-foot-long Vancouver sinkhole swallowed their Jeep. Here's how they survived. 2024 Oscar nominations. Barbie, Oppenheimer, and American Fiction among nominees. World's first malaria vaccination program starts in African nation. China claims the biggest corruption in statistical sphere amid fake data crackdown. Never Trumpers are close to giving up hope. Lawmakers are urging the FDA to take action on gas station heroin. Trump gets 14th Amendment challenge win in Massachusetts. January 24, 2024. No survivors in Russian military plane crash, governor says. Trump fumes in victory, Haley spins in defeat. Takeaways from New Hampshire. Meghan and Harry pose with anti-royal Jamaican Prime Minister who wants to ditch the UK monarchy and warned Wills and Kate they'll never be king and queen of his nation. Round 2. Trump in a walk crybaby Donald. Venomous victory speech. Health Minister reassures disease X only theoretical threat. Bombshell audio. GOP official caught trying to bribe Kari Lake not to run for Senate. Biden's war expands from Gaza to Yemen. Broken chargers, lacks oversight. How California's troubled EV charging stations threaten emission goals. 2 impeachments, 4 indictments, and 1 step closer to regaining the presidency. Party of 5. Mystery swirls around alleged 5th friend at Chiefs gathering where 3 fans froze to death. New Hampshire exit polls show minority of voters in Republican primary were Republican. 70% of Nikki Haley voters were undeclared. Trump furious as he fails to knock out Haley before South Carolina. Time for West to realize it is helping Nazis, says top Russian MP. How the Fani Willis allegations could hit the Trump Georgia case. Kids need risky play, say experts. The unintended consequences of Toronto's tobogganing bans. They created this term to smear average Americans. Now it's come back to haunt them. Oregon is poised to make drug possession a crime again. Trump rolls to victory but struggles with independence. Kari Lake demands Arizona GOP chairman resign following alleged bribery revelation. January 25, 2024. Fighting focuses on Gaza's Khan Yunis after deadly shelling hits UN shelter. Trump's exponential power surge. No landing. GDP soars 3.3%, much higher than expected. Feds keep spending. Maine Supreme Court declines to hear Trump ballot eligibility case. Dems are having a blast making a circus of GOP's Biden probe. Haley hits Trump hard. Insecure, threatened, confused. Biden urges Congress to approve F-16 sales to Turkey. Texas troopers arrest illegal alien smuggler wanted for murder in Mexico. Code words, smuggled phones, and $50 tips. Mexican mafia micromanages drug deals from prison. Trump expected to testify as E. Jean Carroll damages trial resumes after COVID delay. Donald Trump's profound damages payment could cause bankruptcy. Governors of Florida, Virginia, Oklahoma, South Dakota, Montana, and Georgia declare support for Texas in fight to secure the border. Housing is now unaffordable as a record half of all U.S. renters, study finds. The timing of the Red Sea attacks could not be worse for Democrats. Belgorod plane attack. Why did Ukraine shoot down an aircraft carrying dozens of its own soldiers? Beijing dismisses Israel's claim it gave Hamas top-grade weaponry. New Orleans. How U.S. Archdiocese helped priest accused of abusing deaf children. Taylor Swift X-rated AI pics flood internet. Fans outraged and disgusted. Did Fani Willis conspire with Biden's White House? We may find out soon. Trump says presidents should be above the law so they can drop nukes. No, DEI isn't making airplanes fall apart. Economy grew 3.1% last year, defying recession fears. January 26, 2024. Top UN court stops short of ordering ceasefire in Gaza and demands Israel contains deaths. Biden tells Bibi he's not in it for a year of war in Gaza. Ted Cruz grows out mutton chops in preparation for civil war. Border shutdown. Trump urges states to use National Guard to deport illegals. Steve Bannon admits bank account may have evidence of fraud. Wife of killer Kenneth Eugene Smith cried out during his historic nitrogen execution, which lasted 22 minutes. Spiritual guide witness described horrific scene as he thrashed and convulsed. Bad for our country. Texas AG says border looks like Biden cut a deal with the cartels as state faces potential standoff. Turkey expects U.S. to move on F-16 sales, says Erdogan. Soros-controlled MSNBC calls for the banning of Alex Jones video game. Florida House passes bill to ban teens under 16 from social media platforms. Houthis demand aid workers from US and UK to leave Yemen within 30 days. King Charles visits Kate Middleton as he's admitted to same hospital for surgery. Gavin Newsom went to South Carolina to stump for Biden. Voters eyed him for 2028. Hunter and the hunted. How Joe Biden is being linked to corruption, terror attacks, and political assassinations in Ukraine. Mainland Chinese journalist banned from Taiwan after mocking disabled candidate. Federal judges warn of the dire threat to democracy. The U.S. should apologize to gay people. WWE founder Vince McMahon accused of sexually assaulting employee says lawsuit. It's not your imagination. There's been more war lately. January 27, 2024. Palestinians slam suspension of UNRWA funding by some Western nations. The plot to defeat MAGA. Meet the radical left network that hijacked Democrats in effort to stop Trump at all costs. Biden using org's talking points verbatim. Origins of Jack Smith charges, E. Jean Carroll and Letitia James cases. Soros behind it all. Stuck in Florida, DeSantis still dreams of leading an army. Confirmed. Chinese firm sent Biden enterprise $3 million as thank you for work when Joe Biden held office, Comer says. Trump lawyer Lynn Wood sent private jet to White House with holy grail of election rigging evidence. Inside spiral of attorney who thought FBI, Elon Musk, and Antifa were plotting against him and trying to poison his breakfast. Like a boss. Elon Musk calls out Biden on border, says how president can fix with stroke of a pen. SCOTUS urged to rule Cooper Sewer Trump ineligible. Washington approves sale of F-16 warplanes to Turkey. Historian warns Satanists founded and controlled worldwide leftist movement. I have lost everything. In federal court, Palestinians accuse Biden of complicity in genocide. LA is being stripped for parts. Here's what the city council wants to do about it. Trump must pay E. Jean Carroll $83.3 million for defamation in rape case. The Navy knows thousands may have been exposed to cancer-causing materials, but hasn't told them. President Biden pauses approval of liquid natural gas exports because of climate change and totally not because he's trying to economically sanction Texas. U.S. pauses funding to UN Relief and Works Agency over claims of staff involvement in Hamas' October 7 attack. Judge orders the Oregonian to return or destroy documents inadvertently released in Nike sex discrimination lawsuit. Patrick Mahomes Sr. says Travis Kelce is wilder than brother Jason. Those are some fun guys. Putin vows to eradicate Nazism for good. Trump's likely nomination is poisoning Capitol Hill already. Is Congress really going to abandon Ukraine now? Surge in medically assisted deaths under Canada's MAID program outpaces every other country. Dem Chicago mayor faces pushback after handing out eviction notices to illegal migrants. Protest convoy headed to southern border is calling itself an army of God. Wave of support. Fetterman taunts anti-Israel protesters showing up at his front door. Trump is preparing for a new trade war with China. January 28, 2024. High-level talks led by CIA chief in France to end Israel's attack on Gaza. Texas politely declines Dallas Cowboys offer to send offensive line to guard border. Border showdown. Land commissioner says Biden stopped LNG exports in retaliation of Texas defiance. Mile-high migrants. Blue City cracks down after taking more migrants per capita than anywhere else. Is nothing sacred? Moment eco-morons attack the Mona Lisa in the Louvre by throwing soup at Da Vinci's priceless painting in latest infuriating climate change stunt. Fact-check flip-flop. Snopes is forced to reverse and admit President Biden did wear his hard hat backwards in photo op. Biden administration notifies Congress of F-16 sale to Turkey. How movies are used to precondition the masses to accept dystopian slavery. Disneyland's new vision includes up to $2.5 billion investment and a plan to take over city streets. Biden administration is discussing slowing some arms deliveries to Israel to pressure Netanyahu. Where is Hamas getting its weapons? Increasingly, from Israel. Zelensky's corruption problem. Resurfaced interview shows Dr. Fauci says this about mandates: when you make it difficult for people, they lose their ideological bullshit and get vaccinated. Trans swimmer Lia Thomas launches legal battle and bid to qualify for 2024 Olympics. Debt could destroy U.S. economy, says J.P. Morgan boss. China team builds ultra-precise clock they hope will help redefine the second. Donald Trump. U.S. historians sign brief to support Colorado's removal of Trump from ballot. Trump's red flags. Polls say a conviction would doom his campaign. S&P 500 rallied to records on the back of just one sector. House Republicans to impeach Homeland Security Secretary Mayorkas on 2 articles. Falling inflation and rising growth gives U.S. the world's best recovery. January 29, 2024. 2 vessels freed following Somali pirate hijackings. Saudi Arabia urges UNRWA donors to assume their responsibilities in fulfilling humanitarian duties. How drone strike death of U.S. soldiers in Jordan takes us a step closer to WW3, and Biden's response could further drag in Britain and play directly into Putin's hands. Inside Saudi Arabia's $800 billion tourism moonshot. MSNBC demands Alex Jones' video game be banned on Steam in insane meltdown. Donald Trump's reaction to soldiers' deaths is terrifying for the entire world. Can Trump's radical vision for mass deportations be realized? Terror within. UN aid agency members supplied Hamas with RPGs and took Israeli woman hostage during October 7th attacks, damning intel finds. Creatives fight back with Nightshade, a new software that poisons AI models. Kate Middleton grateful for well wishes as she continues recovery at home following surgery. China Evergrande ordered to liquidate in landmark moment for crisis-hit sector. India to make dozens of cities beggar-free. Why antennas will go almost unseen on China's next-generation warships. McConnell bedeviled as Trump and GOP move goalposts on border. Shifting blame, Iran denies role in drone attack that killed 3 U.S. soldiers. Billionaire cartel boss nicknamed Taxi arrested in Spain. Biden vows response after drone strike kills 3 U.S. troops in Jordan. January 30th, 2024. Israeli undercover forces dressed as women and medics storm West Bank hospital, killing 3 militants. Biden cleverly distracts from civil war by starting World War. Macron flees to Sweden as farmer protests choke Paris. Are the politics of Jason Statham's Beekeeper dangerous? Absolutely, positively, undeniably full of shit. Republicans have shouted about the border for months. Now they're tanking a bill to fix it, all to help Trump. U.S. diplomat affirms immediate start of Turkey's F-16 upgrade. WHO head denies UN plan for world government. Learn the true history of the most evil institution on earth. Current and former DHS officials grumble about Biden's talk of shutting down the border. Cold shoulder. Biden sparks outrage with reports he may not attend ceremony honoring troops killed in Jordan drone strike. Ivanka Trump poised to take over her father's empire. Joe Biden in 2020 said, "As the walls close in on this man, I'm worried he's going to get us into war in Iran." After Russian doping decision, the U.S. suddenly has 9 new Olympic gold medalists. Elon Musk's Neuralink has implanted its first brain microchip in human patient. Russia's $9 settlements within BRICS skyrocketing, says central bank chief. Is $83 million enough to shut Trump up? Ukraine envoy offers support for One China principle in Beijing talks. The rise of techno-authoritarianism. Shannon Doherty shares miracle cancer update. God's giving me a break. E. Jean Carroll delivered the soundbite that could win Trump the election. More trials than Al Capone? Trump's legal battles are intensifying. Fedsurrection looms large as Army of God protest convoy heads to border. House Democrats reward 2024 candidates quietly paid through unusual fellowship. January 31st, 2024. Iran threatens to respond to any U.S. strikes as Biden weighs how to react to a base attack in Jordan. U.S. winning World Economic War. Trump to lose 53% of swing state voters if convicted of a crime. Oklahoma gas pipeline explosion shoots flames 500 feet into the air. Son decapitates his federal employee father, 68, and brandishes his head during 14-minute anti-Biden YouTube rant. FBI violated Americans' constitutional rights in Beverly Hills raid, appeals court says. Fire engulfs massive chicken plant in Texas. Ilhan Omar demands Pentagon compensate Somali drone strike victims. A massacre that killed 6 reveals the dangerous world of illegal pot in SoCal deserts. U.S. readies weeks of retaliatory strikes against Iran-linked targets. Fighting for his life. Former Trump official critically wounded by gunmen in deadly D.C. carjacking spree. Bidenomics is working in battleground states. Once again, Donald Trump has been nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. MSNBC's Joy Reid caught in hot mic incident making fun of Biden and cursing. 90-day fentanyl state of emergency for downtown Portland declared by Oregon Governor Tina Kotek and local leaders. How Washington is preparing for a Chinese invasion of Taiwan. Ukrainian politicians stealing Western aid, says ex-Polish general. Texas and Biden are warring over a border town. Its residents just want their park back. Dissenters decried judge-driven mistakes as Eighth Circuit declines to hear major voting case. No to war, but finger on the trigger. Taylor Swift. U.S. right-wing conspiracy theory touts singer as Pentagon asset. Senate Democrats likely to bury Mayorkas impeachment. The man who saved Joe Biden in 2020 is indignant over young black voters abandoning him. Iranian drug dealer hired Hell's Angels for U.S. assassination. We can still make a good economy much better. 23andMe's fall from $6 billion to nearly $0. Washington secrets. 6 in 10 live paycheck to paycheck and 24% have $0 in bank.